8, 20 H3 lawsuits. It's court document time. Court documents. Court documents. Okay, current topic. H3 lawsuits against Denims, Frogan, Casey Tron. Okay. So now let me pull up everything. So I used I had some tools to go out of its way to try and yeah, to censor this stuff. So let us begin with the H3 lawsuit. What's going on with that? Well, H3H3 is suing 3 different people. We're going to go over that video first. And let's take a look. H3H3. Okay, boom, boom. Let's put on the headphones, everybody. It's time. It's the time. Bippity boppy. So now we can kind of pull this up. Okay, let's give it a little listen.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today, I invite you into my home to share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, it's a big conversation called ReactGate.
ReactGate was pretty weird, pretty finalized in a sense where, if I do remember, ReactGate was let's see, ReactGate. Oh, sorry, ReactGate XQC. So ReactGate was more along the lines of just people reacting to other people's videos and just uploading them without any issues. He still does it, by the way. But it's all of this fucking shit, because it's people that would just react. Same fucking thing here. And then, like, let's see here. What's the original? That's 19 minutes. Let's say 17. Literally, dude. Literally 17 minutes is the original video. Then XQC's is only about 2 minutes worth of additional content. Maybe 3 if we're being charitable. So these people don't pause. They don't add transformative elements. They don't add elements that will additionally make it their quote unquote content, because majority of what they're doing is babysitting their entire fucking chat for a little bit using someone else's videos. That's what they do. And XQC was one of the biggest people, same with Hassan, Sneak Snag, a whole bunch of different people, even fucking Disguised Toast, who would watch full-on episodes of anime. So that's kind of a recap before the recap. So let's begin.
ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video.
So here's the thing. There are ways to do it. If you do the entire video, my rule has always been, like, this is a 20-minute video. At minimum, I need to add about 20 minutes. I have to add on to be at least double. This section itself needs to be at minimum double, because let me see if I'm able to let's try something here. Whiteboard or paint. So we're gonna kind of go off of it here, kind of like look. So if there's the original video, which we'll do as V. How dare you, Cal? How dare you? So V is 20 minutes. Me, which would be S, has to make it 40 minutes. Why is that? Well, for at minimum, I would have to do 1 minute for every 1 minute of V. I have to do 2 minutes of slug, which would basically be the same thing of for every 1 minute of content that I watch, I have to add at minimum 2 minutes of my own commentary, additional information, and stuff of that nature. Such as another video that I did where I was going over the response from Cinebear, and Cinebear actually had a hour-long response. Now, for those wondering, oh my god, Slug, did you do like the full hour? Actually, no, by the way. Because what I did was actually something a little bit more interesting. What I did was this. Fact that I think. So here, this would be the first 8 or so minutes of their video. So I went from about 26 seconds, then at the end of the video, it would be at about here. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. 8 minutes. I added so much more fucking content because while I only reacted to fucking 8 minutes of your entire video, Cinebear, I added 50 minutes of my own content, my own commentary, digging through and speaking about it. So additionally, I added actual context, transformative elements, and that's kind of how I view it. If you're going to watch an entire video, you have to add elements to your reaction that make it a fully transformative piece of media. You have to add more than what you're taking.
A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue.
And I do agree with this, the occasional interruption. Now, the occasional interruption is able to also include long-winded rants or like examples with other evidence or speaking to other people that are qualified. That's how I view it. I always view it as if you're going to use someone else's content, for every 1 minute that you use, you have to add 2 minutes of your own content. That's just the rule that I follow, but that has been the safest rule.
My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, you know, they could do the bare minimum and ask for...
Like, for example, I started this on the timestamp, at least in this VOD, of 3 hours, 38 minutes. Now it's about 3 hours, 47 minutes, and I'm only a minute into the video. So I kind of want to, that's what I mean. I add more me into this per, like, however much content I'm using.
For permission, something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've...
That is true. A lot of major reaction channels do not ask for permission, and a majority of React channels or React commentary channels don't really they don't really even ask for permission. Now, there are different schools of thought of this. If you're doing a fully fair use usage of the video, even if you're using all of the video, majority of the time, the school of thought is you don't need to ask for permission for fair use commentary, critique, or anything of that nature. And if you're able to substantially transform the content, that's the school of thought a lot of people have. Now, for me, I don't usually ask for permission. However, in certain cases, I do ask, but normally I don't, because I'm protected under fair use provisions. But I'm also doing it with the expressed intent of transforming the content, such as how I do this. I don't intend to be a replacement for the H3 video. I don't intend to be a replacement for the Saberspark video that Cope and Seethe made or the response to that. I'm not a replacement. I do not ever intend to be.
Streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and we all see this, and no, it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called in to my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned.
So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because
Well, that's fair.
watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
Do
prime,
that.
then watch
Bro,
your prime
do
content.
it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get.
He's doing the worm. While as much as people may think, oh my god, I'm completely in the know of everything going on, I really don't, and I find it really funny that I never noticed this. Like, I never fucking noticed this. But XQC is a really bad offender for this shit. He really is. And it's annoying. Like, it's genuinely fucking annoying. So, again, I just find it to be incredibly annoying.
Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least.
The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hasan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hasan gets up to go to the bathroom, or to eat, or to talk to his mom, or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time, and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana. Then this.
Do not this operation will result in
This has become a legitimate joke, and every time if I'm ever watching someone on Twitch, which I barely do. I barely watch Twitch. It's not an enjoyable platform to watch on. But whenever I'm watching someone on Twitch and they leave their chair and they keep the fucking video playing, I'm like, dude, nice Hasan collab. And like this type of shit, it's not legal. I've told people. I've had to tell like former friends, like, dude, I've had to tell like former friends, look, if you're going to react to my stuff, do not fucking just play it all the way through. Or actually pause, talk about it. You need to, at minimum, add double. For every 1 minute, you add 2 minutes. That's literally the argument that I had to fucking have with people. And everyone's like, oh my God, no, they'll be fine. Everyone else does it. holy fucking shit, if everyone else did meth, is that going to make it better? Is that going to make it better? Oh, everybody's using meth now. Yippee, it's meth time, everybody. Fuck. Like, this type of shit is why I'm very uptight about this shit. Because if I'm just watching a video without adding something to it, I'll just throw the video members only and not promote it anymore. Like, that won't be a worthwhile stream because that's not worth public growth. That's literally just a fucking piece of shit. It didn't add anything. I didn't do anything right with it. And I need to make sure that everything I talk about adds more. And the Hassan chair shit is so fucking annoying because every time anyone does it, if I go on Twitch, let's go on Twitch, everybody. It's Twitch time, everybody. It's time for Twitch. Let's see. Mizkif, are you doing anything? You're IRL. You are now right here. Code Miko. Let's see. I feel like they're just immediately doing IRL shit, and that's fine. Let's see. I'd actually have to, okay, here we go. This is transformative, but a lot of stuff on Twitch, you're able to find what? Let's see, just chatting. Please don't be porn. Okay, people like this, from what I'm able to understand, oh God. Oh Lord. I'm scared. It's a lot of the people that try and grab this type of stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, for every 1 minute of content you use, you need to, at minimum, aim for adding 2 minutes of your own commentary, your own transformative elements. And I know that Twitch example was not good. It wasn't solid enough. I understand. It really kind of failed on that part. But yeah, let's continue on.
Killing of hostages in captivity will result in the death of
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim.
So, okay, so let's take a little look. We must continue to explore, everybody. We must continue to explore. Exploring. Exploring. But yeah, we just gotta keep going. So here, it's the intent behind it. That's the big thing. I also want to, let's see. Does entrapment exist in civil law? Okay, so let's go into here. Department of Justice. Now, these are criminal terms. Let's see. What is entrapment? Okay, that's all like criminal law. So Again, let's see. Okay, why is it? I understand. Don't do the AI overview. We're going to look at the sources. Let's see. Civil law focuses on compensating for harm caused by another party, while criminal law focuses on punishment and deterrence. So, because I've seen a lot of people argue, oh, this is entrapment. He entrapped them. No, that's not how it works at all. At all. Ever. Civil cases don't involve criminal charges, and entrapment is generally not recognized in civil law. Legal defense used in criminal law argues that law enforcement induced someone to commit a crime. Civil cases can involve similar inducement or coercion. The legal framework and available remedies differ significantly from criminal law. I'm not a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer.
Sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So
now, again, a lot of people will argue, oh my god, I've already watched this video. So the video itself basically says that Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron all said that they are basically streaming this to take away views from H3's video itself, aka taking away business, monetary gain, all of that to take away from H3's business. That's been the expressed intent of them streaming these videos. That's pretty much that's actually exactly what they fucking said.
thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you.
That right there is exactly why Denims, at least the lawsuit against Denims, is going to be solid, dude. Outright saying, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow. Again, this is exactly. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it since he's confirmed it's coming out today. I'm going to stream it. Bro. Now, this is crazy to fucking put in a court filing. That's crazy. But since we wanted to start off with Denims, I feel like it would be easier to start off with her. So, let's see. California District. This is District Court, so it's not a federal case. So that may have different ramifications. We will look up any terms that I don't know inherently. But, yeah. This is unironically very crazy to me. So, I did censor a lot of stuff if I basically forgot something or missed something. I do apologize, but it's 80 fucking pages. So then 132, then like 196 in total that I had to censor. Okay. I just redacted names. So, lawsuit is about ending the practice of lazy reaction videos that copy entire copyrighted works and purposefully siphon views and revenue away from the original. Over 7 years ago, the owners of plaintiff TED Entertainment established the legal standard for fair use reaction videos in fucking The Guy v. Klein. As a genre, reactions vary widely in terms of purpose, structure, and the extent to which they rely on the potentially copyrighted material. Reaction videos like the Klein video that intersperse short segments of another's work with criticism and commentary constitute fair use. In contrast, reaction videos that are more akin to a group viewing session do not, which I agree with. If your entire reaction to the video itself, you and the basic function of your video or your coverage of that video is just to be a market substitute of just watching it with your friends, you're violating copyright law. You are a fucking thief. So I do agree with this. Hence why my rule: for every 1 minute you use, you must add at minimum 2 minutes of content. Because we're going to be going through this entire video, but we're also going to be going through the court documents as well. This case involves a group viewing session hosted by Denims. Specifically intended her session to siphon views and revenue away from Ethan's copyrighted works. Content Newt, Hassan Piker, and the H3 show 105 Countdown to Doomsday. Ooh, spooky. And Countdown, collectively, the works. Denim timed her group viewing sessions to coincide with the exact moment TEI released her works. This is basically, this right here, the introduction, this is all saying what they are alleging happened in a court of law. And telling the judge, because in court, the judge doesn't know what the fuck's happening. They're not tied to the internet. They're not aware of internet shenanigans, especially shit on YouTube. So the courts will look at this and immediately assume, okay, these people are, oh, something happened. Something was weird and wonky. That was weird and wonky, everybody. I don't like where this is going. What's happening? What's happening, guys? I don't like it. I don't like this. Makes my tummy hurt. Making my tummy hurt, everybody. I don't like when my stream gets wonky. Makes my tummy hurt. But again, this is all just recapping for the judge, because the judge, the jury, everyone evaluating this are going to look at these documents and be like, okay, these are the only pieces of evidence we have to evaluate this argument and this case and to litigate it. Okay? But again, it just views it as group viewing sessions coincide with not enough twerking. Wow. So, timing intended to capitalize on the public interest, works herself, blah, blah, blah. The mods of H3 Snark, the H3 Snark mods, all of it is basically intended to operate under the idea that they will not have any involvement, at least in their eyes. Though the reality is, I think it's going to be a little bit more awkward because, and here's why. The Snark Reddit basically promoted and heavily implied that, hey, if you don't want to give views, you don't want to give views to this, go watch them here. Denim's group viewing, approximately 45K, which is very, very big, especially for her. Only gets about 3K. Now, the big, the bold, the beautiful, and is available here still. Interesting. Let's see. Let's very annoying. There we go. That was right here. So, yeah, yep, bold, beautiful here. Profited from her group viewing session. No, you won't be fired if you fight the bot. So the group viewing session was just ads, revenue, donations, and paid subscriptions. Most lazy reactions, Denims peppers her group viewing sessions with brief sporadic observations, which can be categorized as follows. We'll watch long, unadulterated portions of works, briefly pause to give short, surface level, and often repetitive observations that provide little to no new information, aesthetics, insights, or understandings. Which is why, when I'm looking over this, it's genuinely, I think he's doing it like piece by piece. And yeah. Let's go to the Denims segment because I feel like that'll be easier. And then we'll go document by document by document. Because this one's the shortest one, but let's see the Denims segment.
To steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she chair react, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denims. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denim said, quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away.
Bro, this is actually fucking crazy. Like, this is why I will always say, look, most of the time, if you're reacting to shit, you are going to be in the crosshairs of a fucking lawsuit. Because people like this are degenerate pieces of shit, okay? Actual scumbags. 100% actual scumbags. Genuinely awful fucking people, okay? Genuinely awful fucking people. Because outright, if you're really thinking that these people are just going to be like, oh, they're just glorified restreaming, glorified just re-uploads with some chick with a mid face and mid tits.
After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
I've always hated this. And I've always said, hey, you're going to react to it? You're going to react? You're going to react? You don't leave the video playing. Take the loss in viewership so you don't break the law. Fucking hell.
You do look better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this.
I have an alternate.
We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here, because I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it
She's done. She is done. It is expressed intent to steal from it, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? No critical bearing on style or substance, the works, Warhol, blah, blah, blah. She goes off on tangents regarding unrelated subjects or shadow boxes, demonstrably false misrepresentations of the contents of the works. My God. Rare occasions does provide sporadic and brief commentary on the style or substance. She spreads misinfo that is refuted moments later by the works themselves or by the most cursory level of research. Rare occasions, she actually shows the factual basis for claim. Statements are refuted by the cited sources itself, such as misinfo fails to serve copyright's goal of enriching public knowledge. Ooh, such a nice source. Good citing, not gonna lie. Very nice. Very poggers. Poggers! Denims will go, even do empty chair reaction as show above, goes off camera. Yeah, basically Hassan React style. The poverty of Denim's commentary coupled with her lightly commercial use of the highly commercial use of the works that she specifically intended to serve as substitute for the originals fails to justify copying CI works in their entirety or nearly their entirety. Rather, Denim's group viewing session is a quintessential example of copyright infringement. So, yeah. This lawsuit is to hold Denims accountable for her infringement and the H3 Snark mods accountable for materially contributing to her infringement. Action arises, venue proper here because acts omissions given rise. This is within the District of California that they're suing her in. Parties, so it would be Ethan Klein, TEI, Denims, the mods that are referred to as, I believe it would be what? Different Does. So it would be like Jane and John Does. Okay, factual allegations. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. So this is going over the previous lawsuit that H3 had with the parkour girl, the Haas video, basically. And it's showing, hey, this is how you do fair use reactions. And comparing that to Denim's shit, that's not surprising, but let's continue.
By asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live. Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hassan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The queen of self-own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like, I think filler content, like, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer.
An admission.
And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos.
Oh, no, bro. Admitting to multiple counts of copyright infringement. That's not smart at all. I've hated this, and that's why, like, whenever I'm live and I'm reacting to something and I need to step away, I just turn on my BRB screen, put on some music that is within the YouTube, like, audio library that does revenue sharing or doesn't demonetize. And I just walk away and then continue afterwards. And I put in a fucking timestamp. This thing where people are like, oh no, I need to leave the video running. Like, if I'm not going to joke around, but more than fucking likely, and I'll say this, more than fucking likely, some people are going to be freaking out because they just do these react videos. I can actually name a few. Let's see here. I think it would be Kenji VT. Oh, I was watching a Flatly video. Shocking. It would be Kenji Reacts. And let's see, original video. This is a 57, let's see, video. So 43:30
is undeniably one of the
43 minutes and only 57:59. I don't think that I really don't know, dude. I don't think that this is okay. Because you're not adding enough transformative elements and you're just watching it with your fucking chat just so that they're able to be rewarded for it. Or stuff like, I guess, God, who else can I bring up? There was the Kenji Reacts. There's also Snag. I feel like he does a lot of React streams, but I want to make sure. This would be under what? Original video. That's 35 on Sneak.
On June 4th,
28. Come on. This is not enough, dude. This is genuinely not enough to add on whenever you're reacting or commentating on someone else's stuff. Just because Twitch chat is too fucking goldfish brained and they don't like the multiple pausing, the actual adding to information, does not mean that you, the fucking streamer, should not follow the fucking law. Because this is outright. Let's see. When did you start the video? Okay. And what was the timestamp when you ended? You watched through the entire video, and this video is 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Your entire commentary only added what? What? Maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes? So there's a good point. So again, we continue with the denim segment because this is what I mean. You have to be able to add on to videos properly so that you are transforming it into your own fucking video. And a lot of people get mad at me saying, "Oh, hey, I'm doing just fine. I'm just pausing and talking randomly and just adding surface level shit." You need to transform it. Like me bringing up the court document for this, or me bringing up other examples, that's transforming, that adds to it. This is when this segment's uploaded onto the second channel. Go subscribe to the second channel, by the way. You're able to look at it and it's like, oh shit, yippee. He's adding his own content. He's doing stuff with it. Going over the Birdie video or going over the Mr. Enter interview where I only went over the segment of Emu Emmy, the content deputy review. So I went over that, or the video from Mr. Enter on Saberspark. Let's kind of bloop, 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 bloop. Hour 58 minutes. So I made it 2 hours 24. So I should have added a bit more commentary on this, and I do feel bad. But this is not a good example of me doing commentary, and that's a good point. Because then the Emu Emmy interview, let's see. Oh, wait, no, this was me discussing my interview with Mr. Enter. This was me going over the Emu Emmy interview. So I added an hour when they, let's see. Yeah, no, I went over all of their stuff just for the Saberspark segment. Okay, that's fair enough. Let's see the Google document. Then it would be the response, I believe. Yeah. So it's a lot of different things. So again, do understand that, like here, I believe it would be the Kim Possible a lot interview. Then this, I believe there was the response. Yeah. When you're doing the reaction stuff, you're able to also see it in my streams. And the main effort needs to fucking be adding double.
Have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. Like out what I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the
Don't walk away. Don't leave your shit just playing, dude. That's literally not fair use. It's really fucking not. Everyone's like, oh, the React Harder meme is stupid. No, dude, no. It's literally like, dude, you're not adding transformative fucking content, my guy. What the fuck?
communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't
Oh god. Denims is so fucked in this lawsuit.
don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos, and they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like, I'm sure
From
it
the people that
happens.
I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. If someone watches content, I already said this, if someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like, or the people who are watching content on Twitch.
These are so painful because these are things that are now being used against her in a court of law. Like, this is a legitimate court document, dude. Legitimately. It is insane. Like, absolutely insane. And I believe this is the Denims. Denim. Oh god, why did you use LARP? Why? Why did you use fucking LARP in this? As a revolutionary comfort per blah 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 blah. Yeah. So this is all kind of talking about how who Denims is. And then who is involved, who is tied to it, X, Y, and Z. Let's see. I want to be clear, filler content and stuff. I think filler content, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer. I'm taking maybe 50 views. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. So, yeah. Shortly there, her own bias. I want to have that content. Maybe I'm moping. Maybe I'm coping because I'm a reactor and I want to have that content. That's another thing that has always bugged me, because when you do this type of shit, and I understand I do some form of React content from time to time, like right now with the H3 video, but I'm adding on to it. I'm going over the court documents. And what's really fucking insane to me is that some of these people don't understand the situation that they're in, because these people like to think that they're fucking above everything, and if they're expressly doing this with the intent to take away from the original video, then they're in the wrong. And reality is, you're going to get that. Like, people who will take the same exact title of the video and then just basically re-upload it. You add at minimum what? What? How much? How much of the fucking original video is there versus how much you add? If you're not following the rule of 1 minute of the original and you have to add at minimum 2 minutes of your own, you're going to be fucked. Reason that they go ahead and watch, they basically want a curator. Oh, these quotes are real bad. These quotes are real bad for Denims in this. Holy shit. Yeah, no, these are real bad for Denims. Like genuinely really bad. Now, Denims may or may not have gotten the public opinion approvals, such as like from the Twitch chat or stuff of that nature. Denims is fucked in a court of law. Click on a random part of the video, might not be saying anything. It's not about the actual show. It's like, oh, the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. Then host it, host a real watch party, and don't re-upload it. Like, that's all you need to do. Like, don't re-upload shit, my guy. I think when it comes to streamers, they go to streamers as a curator. Yeah, that's going to fuck her up in a court of law. They will never go through YouTube, click a bunch of videos. They're going to go to Twitch. They like to have it as like this streamer is curating fun content for them to watch. Ah, fuck. People who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube. Oh, fuck. This is so bad. This is so bad for Denims, dude.
Curated Twitch content on Twitch aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft. And you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've,
Now, we will now continue reading through this. So, the background on the H3 Snark, that's not really relevant to why I care. Copyright infringement, they would basically post re-uploads and things of that nature. Let's see. Jesus. Yeah, no, this is actually really interesting. By deleting the live chat logs. Okay, boom, boom, boom. YouTube stream link. Like, this is insane. Had an insatiable appetite for Ethan's content. Users did not want Ethan to receive anything. They basically re-uploaded it. Employed to consume blah, blah, blah. A website provides unauthorized access to YouTube videos and public performs them. YouTube had particular appeal. What the fuck is YouTube? That's crazy. Does not result in a view or advertising revenue to the original. Let's see. Conducted live chats with YouTube links. Once ended, concealed the evidence of their infringement, deleting the logs below are true and correct screenshots, spamming the live chat with links to the copyrighted stuff. Oof, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad for them. So Doe does this. Jesus. Had to download videos. They basically would do takedowns on the Reddit and yeah. Sheesh. Basically describing all of this. The mod's efforts to issue fraudulent counterclaims. Counter notification. Interesting. So that was very interesting. So the client's concern reached a fever pitch over Hassan radicalizing. This is all like the Hassan thing. Hassan and his waiting room hijacked necessary important, blah, 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 blah. This feels like Palestine versus Israel. Okay, this is describing how the nuke was copywritten, all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So now we continue onward into the next segment because this is just talking about what is in the Hassan content nuke video, and it's not really an explanation. So, countdown. Made a live broadcast, countdown to the episode before releasing, covered very topics. Discovered Denims infringed the countdown episode, registered countdown episode. And throughout January, Ethan built up public interest, discussing on the H3 show, blah, 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 blah. So it was kind of like setting a trap, but entrapment does not exist in civil law, which this is a part of, because of course, under civil law, you're playing with a different kind of deck of cards. Entrapment only exists in criminal law. So again, this is describing day of, promotes the H3 Snark promotes Denims as a substitute to watching the nuke. We will continue on. Ethan built up blah 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 blah. Mods knew they would promote group viewing sessions, so that's true. Mega thread basically saying where to watch and discussion. Then the day the episode were released, Denims is live reacting now. So I'm not shocked. I'm really not fucking shocked. At this point, the mods deleted the first inducement post, second and third to conceal their contributions. Well aware of Denim's reputation for copyright infringement and lazy reaction videos, fair use, purpose, and character of the use, including whether such use is commercial, for non-profit, educational. While it's not wrong per se for a video to be commercially available, it needs to be transformative enough that it is not a replacement for the given work. It needs to be its own thing, transforming the given work into something new in a new context or new usage. Nature of the copyrighted work, amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation, the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Basically relates to problem of substitution, which is the expressed intent that Denims made multiple fucking times. Jesus fucking Christ, like an idiot. She made the expressed intent to just be a market substitute for the video. And let's see here. Central question, the mere fact that secondary use has all of that. Now, Warhol, this was actually, I remember watching a video, I think it was earlier today, because, let's see, chat. Let's see. There was a video I was watching. Let's see. There was another video. It was something involving, gosh, I have to make sure I'm doing it right. Fuck. Right here.
Well, you mess with the mouse and
Legal Eagle, literally, I believe it was discussing the Warhol segment, because I think yes, here it is, baby, let's go.
This is almost always fair use. Now, we've covered this a lot. To claim fair use under the Copyright Act, courts examine four main factors. One, the purpose and character of the use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of the works used, and the effect on the potential market for the original. Now, Midjourney, like many of the AI companies, will likely argue that its service is transformative, meaning it changes or adds something new to the original material and serves a different purpose.
Now we're going to skip ahead because I want to go to the point where he was talking about Warhol. Here we go.
Mentioned to a fair use analysis when it decided a case called Andy Warhol Foundation versus Goldsmith, which turned on the first fair use factor. And that case is really interesting. In 1981, photographer Lynn Goldsmith took a portrait photo of Prince, and a few years later she licensed that photo to Vanity Fair for use as an artistic reference. Andy Warhol then created an image of Prince based on that photo without further licensing or Goldsmith's permission. And after Prince's death in 2016, the Warhol Foundation licensed one of its images to Condé Nast for $10,000. Now, Goldsmith didn't receive anything and sued the Warhol Foundation for copyright infringement. And the Supreme Court ruled that the Warhol Foundation infringed on Goldsmith's copyright. The court held that the licensing of the resulting Warhol image for commercial use as basically a magazine cover was not protected under the fair use doctrine. And writing for the majority, Justice Sonia Sotomayor explained that, quote, if an original work and secondary use share the same or highly similar purposes, and the secondary use is of a commercial nature, the first factor is likely to weigh against fair use, absent some other justification for copying.
So,
and the artwork Warhol made from Goldsmith's image, dubbed Orange Prince, may be visually distinct and carrying a different enough artistic message to qualify as fair use, but that did not mean the Warhol Foundation could license Orange Prince to a magazine where it would be used in the same context as the Goldsmith photo it was based on.
So basically, yeah, that's what they're using as an argument here. Basically saying, hey, just because someone turned a picture orange, basically making it fair use and transformative, does not mean that you're able to now be like, oh, hey, this is ours in such a commercial way that you license it. Now here, the first fair use factor relates to problem of substitution, whether the new work supersedes or supplants the original. Warhol v. the central question is whether the secondary work adds something new with a further purpose or different character. Kind of like this video going over H3's video, where I am digging into things and I'm adding transformative elements, and those elements are digging through the court document and relating it to what's being said, because it's an 80-page document and I want to go through each segment individually and helping the viewer understand what's going on. So I continue. With a further purpose or a different character. The mere fact that a secondary use has some further purpose or adds something new does not render such uses fair. Whether an allegedly infringing use has a further purpose or different character is a matter of degree, and the degree of difference must be weighed against other considerations like commercialism. Now we're going to copy and paste that. And I want to kind of have it simplified real quick. So examples, additional evidence, etc. Up. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Let's go, baby. Okay. So it's basically you should not make your video a replacement for the original. That's what it basically is saying. Hey, if you're monetized, you have to be along the lines of you have to be transforming the usage of this video in such a way that it's incredibly clear that this is a new video, a new experience entirely. So we continue here. Differences must be weighed against other considerations. Use that has a further purpose or different characters said to be transformative. Transformative, matter of degree. An overbroad concept, one that includes any further purpose or any different character, would narrow the copyright's owner exclusive right to create derivative works. Preserve the right degree of transformation required to make transformative use of an original must go beyond that required to qualify as derivative. First factor also relates to the justification, both in broad and narrow. Broad sense, if it has a distinct purpose that furthers the goal of copyright, namely promote the progress of science and the arts without diminishing the incentive to create. A use is justified in the narrower sense as reasonably necessary to achieve the user's new purpose. And for me, it's to educate you guys and kind of go over this alongside you. Now, let's see here. Such justification is particularly relevant to assessing fair use, where wide dissemination of a secondary work would otherwise run the risk of substitution for the original or licensed derivatives. Again, the question of justification is one of degree. Basically saying, hey, we need to kind of measure out whether or not you, like, for example, for me, I know I'm within fair use because I've only used maybe like so far a few minutes of Ethan's video so far, even though I jumped forward. The next one we'll be talking about is CaseyTron. And I feel like a lot of the follow-up point for CaseyTron will just be along the lines of the same as these. So, yeah. And again, third fair use factor, neutral, copied a great deal, the extent, quality, and importance of the video's clips. So it's understanding. The fourth fair use factor is most important, while fair use factor considers whether to the extent original and secondary have substitutable purpose. Fourth factor focuses on actual or potential market substitution. Both this and that, particular actions of the infringer, whether unrestricted or widespread conduct, even when there's little direct evidence of actual market harm caused by secondary use to negate fair use, need only show that if the challenged use should become widespread, it would adversely affect the potential market for the copyrighted work. Must take into account the public benefits of copying will likely produce. In other words, does the use serve copyright's goal of enriching public knowledge? When the original work is associated with dangerous misinfo, it does not serve the public benefit and resulted in actual and reputational harm, which would be what Denims was alleged of doing. So again, it's very, very interesting. Now here, fourth fair use weighs in on favor of determination of fair use. Did not usurp demand for the copyrighted work, thereby resulting in loss for the infringee or unjust enrichment for the infringer. The Klein video did not serve as a market substitute because the Klein video transformed the Haas video from a skit into fodder for caustic moment-by-moment commentary and mockery. Consequently, the Klein video did not offer a substitute for the original. Denim's viewing session failed to make a fair use of the Countdown episode. It is readily apparent primary and overriding purpose of Denim's use of the Countdown episode was to exploit a group viewing session of the Countdown episode, which is confirmed, she said it herself, and to substitute for the original. Again, very true. watching long sections without any or very little interruption, frequently for several minutes at a time. Denims provides an empty chair where she gets up to piss, which is insane to me. It is genuinely fucking crazy that these people will go out of their way to just fucking get up and leave while reacting or commentating on a video. It is absolutely insane to me that people do that. I've always viewed it as fucking insane. What's up, chat? But the fact that fucking Denims admits to it, and multiple people do this, a shit ton of content creators do this, where they just watch the video in full, but they don't add anything further than the surface level. Haha, that's dumb. Haha, that's crazy. What the fuck's going on? Now, for me, I went over a Google document. I was very transformative because I went over the fucking contents of the document, and the document itself against Black Griffin was fucking bullshit because it had nothing of value. No evidence of sexual grooming, no evidence of sexual impropriety, no evidence of criminal activity. And you see that I was able to transform that document into, okay, this is a debunking and just a critical common sense look at it. With Denims, it's literally just play video and walk away. And broadcast located on the flash drive as Exhibit K. And broadcast January, over 10 hours long due to the file size. Denims broadcast separated into 2 video files. True and correct copy part 1, true and correct copy part 2, with the following timestamps. And going to P at 39:08, 2 minutes, 21 seconds, lets the countdown episode play while she is off screen. When she returns, silent for an additional minute, which is not fair use. Don't fucking let the shit play. Fucking delusional retard. Holy fucking shit. There's no reason that people should ever be just getting up while watching a video on stream just to let it play. Now again, also, so group viewing session, countdown episode was an hour 3:56. During the session provided 4 minutes, 43 seconds of brief superficial commentary. That's my issue, because I brought this up earlier, and let's just, I don't know. I'm gonna pick on Kenji Reacts for a bit. Like, come on. Let's see. We go here. Boom.
Deputy overdoses.
9 minutes 31. His video is 11 minutes 22. How much content did you add? You did not add a substantial amount. This is literally just re-uploading someone else's video with the expressed intent of just talking over it. You don't pause, you don't make an actual fucking attempt to add transformative elements. What I always recommend, pause the video and talk. Do not just let it play, because just because you're not wanting to break the flow, that doesn't mean you're out of the way for a fucking copyright takedown, which would be 100% valid. Because this example, while I do like Kenji, I like his content, he's funny, reality is, if you're going to fucking do this shit, you need to add more than just 3 or 4 minutes fucking of your own shit. Again, the rule, 1 minute of theirs means 2 minutes of your own content. You need to make that a fucking habit. Okay? So the fact that it's literally 4 minutes, 43 seconds of superficial commentary to the countdown episode is abysmal, criminal, absolutely disgusting, because that is insane. Then 43 seconds of partially related commentary, 2 minutes 12 seconds of unrelated, unintelligible blarby, stupid comments. Total runtime of the video countdown uninterrupted for 88%. That is insane, dude. It is insane that 88% of the video itself is alleged to be just played from the original work and not transformed into her own thing. Like, if you were to do the same math for me using Ethan's video, I'm jumping around. I'm starting at the Denims thing. After we finish with the Denims document, we're going to the Caseytron document. And we're able to skip a lot of these two secondary and additional documents because it'll be a repeat of like certain H3 snark things. Then, yeah, we'll basically be focusing on the segments group viewing session, fair to make, fair use, because that will be the major arguments that we're going to be evaluating. So, objective, provide large, unobstructed view of the countdown episode to our audience. Emphasizes primary purpose was to provide a substitute for the original. Paid subscriptions. This one I feel is annoying, but it is valid. Adds a cryon at the top of the screen. Content nuke drops at 1:30 PST. Early group adds a countdown timer. Nuke will be publicly released. Encouraging people to watch her group viewing session. You want to watch it, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. As to the second fair use factor, the fact that the countdown episode was simultaneously broadcast with Denim's group viewing session does not weigh in her favor. Further, while containing numerous factual elements, the countdown episode contains numerous creative elements which weigh against fair use. And as to the third factor, weighs heavily against fair use. It is readily apparent that Denim's use was excessive for any potential criticism of the countdown episode. I do agree. And for this video itself, I'm agreeing with H3 here because these three individuals did violate copyright law. They did commit copyright infringement because they're not really adding anything except superficial comments that don't expand further, particularly in light of the minimal level of commentary, highly commercial nature, group viewing session. Fourth and most important, weighs heavily against fair use. It's readily apparent Denim's intended and succeeded to provide a market substitute, which is true. And this also applies to the nuke. So these two are basically copy and paste, and it's saying, hey, you're not doing anything. But I did want to actually, let's see. I wanted to actually go over the part itself. She exemplifies her beliefs about copyright that she expressed during ReactGate. Denim's group viewing session epitomizes unfounded opinion that copyright infringement and fair use principles are inapplicable in the context of live streaming, particularly on Twitch. And that's such a psychotic belief because the idea, especially on Twitch, there are people that just believe I can play it, move on. No, you are putting yourself in the line of fire of a fucking copyright lawsuit. It is absolutely unreal that people still believe in the idea that they're able to go out of their way and just play a fucking video in full and never have any real consequences. Because, again, I have my rule of how to do React commentary. For every 1 minute of content I use, I need to add 2 minutes of my own content, such as commentary. And that's at minimum, 2 minutes fucking minimum. You need to add commentary, transformative elements, additional information. So, yeah. Okay, this would be the explanation of her very clearly benefiting. Let's see, I wanted to see how she would be handling this. I want to see the percentage of what is used, because she does say tuning in with me because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself. Enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video. That is a exact fucking admission to copyright infringement. So, yeah. Feign ignorance of H3 snark, comically rather, blah, 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 blah. So, I want to find, there we go. On 74 different occasions, group viewing session consisted of watching the nuke for 30 seconds or more with no commentary whatsoever, or at most word or phrase. In total, excerpts comprise, Jesus, I can't talk, 70 minutes of the nuke, 70% of its total runtime. The poverty of Denham's commentary, coupled by frequently showing long, unadulterated portions of the nuke, further demonstrates. So let's see. Comprising of 30 seconds or more of just the nuke. Okay. Interesting. Majority of this, Denham speaks briefly after showing a much longer excerpt of the nuke. The fact that the excerpts Denham shows of the nuke frequently eclipse her statements further emphasizes that the primary purpose of her group viewing session was to provide a substitute for the original, and any commentary was merely an afterthought. During Denham's group viewing session, she admits she is not providing sufficient commentary because she does not want to pause frequently. This is the dumbest fucking thing anyone ever does, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. I get into arguments with people when they say, oh, I just don't want to break the experience. I don't want to ruin the viewing experience. Motherfucker, you are there to give your opinion. You are not there to just do a watch party, dipshit. Fucking hell. Emphasizes, if I sat here and explained why he was wrong for like half of these things, we would be here for another 20 hours. Oh, and you would not be sued if you added that extra 20 hours. I've gone in and tried to explain why he's incorrect on like 1 in every 10 incorrect takes because I'm not trying to spend an entire week here. That's on you. Have multiple parts. Do it over multiple days. Give real, actual, fair use criticism and commentary. Do not do the, I'm just going to watch it with my friends on the internet because you're fucking delusional, dude. Don't even understand what to say about because, yeah, this is wrong because of this, and this. Another wrong take. Okay, well, I just paused it for 10 minutes. I feel bad pausing it again because surely there'll be something better here. Motherfucker, that's the point. That's the fucking reason why you do the fair use commentary. Holy shit. I don't even understand what to say. It's so fucking delusional. Like, it's, yeah. People complain about having to add substantial commentary, then act shocked when people hit them with a fair use notice. Yeah, like, I've had to tell people, hey, if you're going to stream snipe my shit, I'm going to fucking copyright strike you. Like, if you're just going to do it in a way that's not fucking substantive or fucking worthwhile, you're absolutely cruising for a fucking bruise in here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's absolutely insane that some of these people believe that and believe that they're able to fucking do this. I think it's fucking crazy. I think it's insane. And it's just annoying. Admission failed to address majority of the points raised. Self-evidence. Denham's purpose was to be a market substitute, which I agree. These are very good points. Blah, blah, blah. Fails to address the points because she's not watching it. She's just showing it off for her chat, which, again, from what has been shown multiple times, especially in the video as well, it's accurate. You're not adding anything. You're literally fucking insane, dude. Fuck. Like, it is absolutely fucking insane. I think it's insane. Fails to address the majority of the Twitch parody sketch, fails to address, fails to address, fails to address. So again, does speak, most of her statements brief in relation to the preceding segment of the nuke. No critical bearing, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's insane. I want to kind of read through this real quick. Let's see. Superficial comments, little, did not pre-screen, frequently expresses confusion. Now, here, if you did not pre-screen something, you need to at least add like, oh, hey, I'm watching this for the first time, just so I'm able to evaluate everything and actually give some information on it. Now, it depends on the thing. So, yeah. Let's see. I want to do 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 do. Yep, this is all surrounding the video itself, the claims about what was said. Just all of this is basically saying, hey, this is how Denims is just going through the piece against basically how she reacted to the content nuke. First claim for relief, blah, blah, blah. Second claim for relief. Yeah. So that was the Denims document. Now, don't worry, everybody. I do have the videos linked. There you go. It's in the sources Discord. And I still need to upload the documents, the court docs. Court documentation. I'm going to be uploading the redacted version because I feel like it'll be easier to deal with. Yeah. So let's now, we go into documents. There would be redacted, redacted, redacted. There you go. Those are the 3 complaints for all of this shit. Let's boom, there you go. They're in the sources Discord. Now let's go into Casey Tron.
Tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, Casey Tron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey Tron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point, Casey Tron is so wasted that she states, quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot." To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary...
That in itself is insane. Now, we are going to go into here. I don't want to really go over the fucking background on H3 Snark because that's a repeat. I don't want to talk about that. That's already been discussed. I want to go over the stuff with Casey Tron because I want that to be kind of as it is. So majority of these documents is the whole thing of like who everyone is, what everything is, who is what is where. So here we go. Readily apparent, Casey used the nuke and group viewing session 13 minutes after the nuke was released to the public at 30, group viewing, blah, 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 blah. Shortly after, let's see, timed her group session after it was released to capitalize on public interest. Prior to watching, I know a lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein, so we're going to watch it. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt in court, baby. That's gonna fucking hurt. That's gonna hurt, baby. That's gonna real hurt. Really, really hurt, everybody. That's gonna hurt. Ha.
Comes down to this.
I don't understand this bit that he's doing.
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the hell
You
is
kids
going
love
on?
anime.
So yeah, this is all like Casey Tron just smoking the entire time.
You think I made this? I've never seen this. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. Without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist.
Yeah, she literally said that. So here we go. Admits no idea. So Casey's just here for the views. Blah, blah, blah. So it's all discussing all of this. Where does this states need to watch the nuke again with Mike's analysis? Michael Bayer, blah, blah, blah. Mike from PA. Bayer, Nepo. Jesus. Failed Nepo, baby. Okay. Let's see. Failing political. Okay. Became streamer. Yeah. So here is Casey Tron's. I want to see how each one follows the fair use factors I want to see. Stares blankly, span of 2 hours, 7 minutes, smokes marijuana, highly concentrated, blah, 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 and nearly 19 minutes, which is 3 minutes more than Casey Tron speaks during her group viewing session. So wasted. What's happening? Trying to follow. I lost the plot. Notable then her dearth of commentary and copious consumption of cannabis is the sound of emitting blah. I don't care about her farting all the time. Vast majority of the screen, objective, large, and unobstructed view of the nuke to her audience, which is fair and true. Contrast, sequesters herself, small portion. I get the point they're trying to make, but highly commercial, solicits donos, dono goal, located, solicited, paid subs. Okay, same thing that Denims is doing. Let's see. The nuke released 13 minutes prior to Casey's viewing session. Does not weigh in her favor. Further, while containing numerous documentary and factual elements, nuke contains numerous creative elements, so which weigh against fair use. Third factor is readily apparent Casey Tron's use was excessive for any potential criticism of the nuke, particularly in light of the minimal level of commentary, which is, it's not Emion's fault. But let's see here. Casey Tron repeatedly provide brief. This is the same thing as what Denims did, just shallow, surface level bullshit that didn't fucking matter. Fourth, and readily apparent, Casey intended to be a market substitute, which is true. I know a lot of people have been wanting to watch this without supporting, so we're going to watch it, of course. Nuke in its entirety with minimal commentary, 13 minutes after it was posted, inducement post. Yeah, that's the whole thing for Casey Tron, which is pretty fucking accurate. So now I think it's time for Frogan time. Frogan time. Frogan. Frogana.
Decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
Don't have anything to say? Dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? Are you gonna make at least one good point? What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing." You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and
apparently thinks Twitch is liable for
God, that's such a bad thing, bro. No, don't do this. Oh, fuck. Now we're going to go all the way into this. We have to scroll down a bit so we're able to just get past the who is, what is, where is. And we just get to the fucking part that's relevant to each of the individuals. Because, here we go. I don't think there was one on the countdown. I think Denims only did the countdown. Yeah, fucking Denims is the only one that did both. Stinky and stupid. Okay, so now we read through the court document. Okay. Readily apparent, this was Frogan exploiting, basically, market substitute. Hi, Ethan wants to maximize numbers. Here's the thing, though. No matter what, there are going to be people that they would rather watch it with. Here we go. Denim goes live at 7 in the morning. Sean goes live early as fuck. Mike from PA, blah, blah, blah. Shortly, Frogan made the following statement that substitute watching the original, funneling audience members to Frogan's group viewing session of the nukes. We have a bingo card. The Snark Reddit made it. Shout out to them. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for watching it. First time viewer, time to watch the new nuke ethically. Frogan's response, hell yeah. Reading chatter, found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people, Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from H3 Snark Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while Hassan is unbothered and having a great time. Exactly. We're going to watch live, right? We're going to watch it live, yes. Yeah, these statements are going to destroy. All three of these people are fucked in court. Let's see. So, let's see. Frogan's group session timed her group session occurring immediately after the nuke was released to capitalize on it. Siphon as many viewers away. In other words, priority was personally and financially benefit from providing a substitute for the original. Frogan would also be watching the nuke at 1.5 to 1.75 speed for 30 seconds or more with no commentary whatsoever. Word of phrase, nonsense word of phrase. So, approximately 70% of the nuke, not even paying attention, rather her head is buried in her phone, texting someone else in the aggregate. Oof. Poverty of Frogan's commentary coupled by showing long, unadulterated portions of the nuke. Literally, you gotta make it transformative, you dumb fuck. Holy shit. So, excerpt from Frogan's duration showing the nuke. Again, group session from the nuke. This is basically 34 seconds of the stream. Originally 59.5. Jesus. Listed above. Empty chair reaction, letting nuke play completely off stream. Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing. That's fucked. When she does, those moments frequently compromise the painfully pregnant pauses of as Frogan struggles to find something to say. Many of these excruciation. I've been talking for 5 hours, and my brain is fucking fried. Dead air, group viewing session, commenting, and critiquing the nuke was an afterthought. Very true. Yeah. So, and this is all, again, let's see. 3 occasion, reads chat calling her out for failure to address points. Don't you have anything to say? Could you make at least one good point? How anyone listens or watches you is insane. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, he's having a mental breakdown, and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? What do you want me to make a point on? Calling people a bitch. 3 occasion, reads chat calling her out for being a hypocrite, dragging crew into the dispute. Doot. Yeah, so, yeah. Calling her out for engaging in damage control, running defense. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, no, these people are very fucked. These lawsuits seem really fucking airtight. I'm not even joking, dude. These are like air fucking tight. So, that was just the first fucking factor. Jesus. As to the second fair use, Nuke was released a minute prior to Frogan's session, does not weigh in her favor, containing numerous documentary and factual elements. Third, weighs heavily. It is apparent potential criticism of the nuke. Use was excessive for any potential criticism of the nuke, particularly in light of minimal level of commentary and highly commercial nature. Fucking true, dude. Fucking true. Frogan cannot say anything. She's fucked. She's fucked. Fourth and most important, fair use factor weighs the most heavily against fair use. Readily apparent, Frogan intended and succeeded to be a market substitute. Yeah. Frogan fucked up, chat. Fucked up, dude. Like, actually fucked. Genuinely fucked. I just cannot believe. I just can't believe how fucked these people are. Because there's literally nothing. There's nothing that they're able to say to defend themselves. Like, bro, come on, dude. Like, they are genuinely, and I mean fucking genuinely, fucked. They're literally just saying, oh, God, why? Why? They literally admit to it. It doesn't matter the public opinion. It's just what is right and factual in the court of law. And fucking hell. Denims, Frogan, and fucking Caseytron are fucked. They are fucked. Okay? Absolutely fucked. Their best bet is begging for a settlement, because holy shit. Because holy fucking shit, dude. This is insane to me. There's no fucking understanding of what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it is insane. Okay? I think it is in fucking sane. Fuck, bro. I find it fucking crazy. But if you enjoyed this video, I hope you all enjoy. I'm going to try and go to bed. I'm going to send you guys somewhere. I think I'll send you to the op block. Feel like that'll be a little bit better. You guys can enjoy some body cam nonsense. I feel like that'll be worthwhile. Let me send you guys there. Up you block loop, bleep blah bloop. And I will be live again tomorrow. So I hope you all have a good night. And yeah, if you watched this live, I'm glad you enjoyed.